Hello and welcome to another episode of the American Nightmare Podcast. This is episode 55, recorded October 27th, 2022.
Woohoo!
Nice.
Nice.
Awesome. All right.
Woohoo!
Let us get started right away with some news. Terrifier 2 is expanding to 1,500 screens this last weekend before Halloween. Just to remind everybody, this film they raised money on a Kickstarter, or I don't remember what the platform was, but they raised money through social networking, $250,000 to make this film. It is now, as of today, gross $6.5 million.
That is awesome. That is freaking awesome. Way to go, Art. Cheers.
The best thing about Terrifier 2 is it is a fan-driven film. They didn't back it by any studio, and they didn't spend any money on marketing. It was all done by word of mouth.
Yep.
You know, and it's probably a good thing because if you get a studio involved, then you're probably not going to get some of the stuff we got.
Yep.
I'll elaborate on that more a little bit later.
Yep.
Everything was grassroots and done for the love of the film and the love of the genre. This is really, if you ask me, it's just a unique moment in horror history. We're living, like I said in the last couple episodes, we're living in the golden age of horror films in the time of streaming services and the internet.
It's like the 80s all over again.
Yeah, but even more so because of the fact in the 80s, could you imagine getting a crowd-funded project off the ground? It probably would never happen. Now with
That's
social
true.
media
That's
and
true.
the ability to gather people who love the genre of horror, get them together and crowd fund a project is just phenomenal.
Yeah. I remember like when I heard that they were doing the crowdfunding and I looked it up and I had missed it. I was like, shit. I wish I would have known they were doing it. I would have pitched in.
Hell yeah. A new horror movie from Australia from the producers of Babadook is coming out called The Moogai.
Ooh.
The Moogai is going to be part of this Bankside of Films out of the UK, which acquired Aboriginal Australian filmmaker John Bell. He created the original Babadook and now is creating the Moogai. It's been picked up by this UK film company and will be out sometime next year. The story behind this is a young Aboriginal couple brings home their second baby, which should be a joyous time, takes a sinister turn as the baby's mother starts seeing malevolent spirit she's convinced is trying to take her baby away.
Huh.
The feature explores postnatal depression, generational trauma, and Australia's stolen generation, which is Aboriginal children that were removed from their families between 1910 and 1970. Interesting film.
Yeah.
I'm sure it will be. So awesome.
When you first said
make some different stuff too.
yeah.
Australian
When
horror.
when you first said Moogai, I was for some reason like Batman popped in my head. I'm thinking of like a non-pretentious superhero that dresses up like a cow.
Nice.
Moogai.
Moogai.
Yeah. But I guess not.
The official look at Evil Dead Rise is coming October 31st.
Woohoo!
There will be a trailer. Woohoo!
That's also when Terrifier 2 starts streaming.
Yeah, but on, what is it, Screambox or something? And I'm not signing up for another fucking service.
Yeah,
man.
I'll probably just wait till it comes out and buy it on Blu-ray or streaming, whatever.
Exactly. James Wan's new film by Blumhouse-produced company M3GAN has been moved up to earlier in January for
sweet.
release.
Nice.
The Universal Blumhouse atomic monster genre film M3GAN is hitting screens a week earlier than it was originally planned for. It will now be released January 6th. As part of this marketing promotion, I know I told you guys about it, and I think I might have posted it on our Facebook that Chucky threw some shade at M3GAN.
Yeah, I saw that.
On Twitter, saying everybody's trying to be me, and then Megan clapped back saying, you that doll when you cause this conversation.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that was very funny. A nice bit of social media marketing. Very, very funny.
Yeah, it looks good.
Um,
I'm looking forward to watching it.
Yeah, man, it looks creepy as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doll,
fucking
like,
doll
really-
looks way creepy.
Yeah.
And then that fucking dance scene that people like have put together from the
Oh,
clips.
yeah.
Oh, God damn. What the fuck? That's some fucked up shit.
Yeah, it is.
It's funny because it's like a modern style dance too, right? It's like
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It just looks fucked up because she's got this like almost human body and like the fucking head of this robot with a dead stare. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Last week, Konami did a live stream announcing a bunch of great things with Silent Hill, but they've most importantly announced the Silent Hill original director, Christoph Gaines, is returning to the helm for a new movie, Return to Silent Hill.
Sweet.
yeah.
I am stoked. The original movie was
animated,
great.
right? It's an animated movie.
No, it's live action,
Oh, it's
bro.
live action. Okay.
Yep. I just I'm gonna post the Twitter feed up on Facebook tonight, and I'll
Cool.
put the link in our show notes. Yeah, it's gonna be a live action Return to Silent Hill by the same director as the first one. Now, remember, the first one was pretty good.
I enjoyed the first
second one went off the rails.
I didn't
like
watch
it.
the second one. I didn't.
Yep.
Was not good, huh?
Different director, different writer.
Yeah,
It wasn't as good as the first one.
No, I agree.
And Christoph Gaines, in the interview on that live stream, basically said, hey, I want to take us back to the roots of the game. Everybody loved the game. Everyone cared about the game. Let's take us back to the game. That's the most important part of Silent Hill. As part of that, they're also announced that they're rebooting Silent Hill 2 for all the new modern game consoles. I'm
That's
very
right. We watched
excited
that,
about
didn't we?
Yes. Yeah, we watched a clip or two of it, and then I went back because I think we missed it. Like when I pulled it up, it was already halfway over or whatever. But then I went back and they separated the clips into different videos, and I just clicked on the ones I wanted to see rather than all the other crap.
Yeah.
This November, Godzilla against Mechagodzilla will be coming to U.S. theaters for the first time. This is part of Toho and Sci-Fi Wire bringing this to the U.S. Thursday, November 3rd, Phantom Events is bringing Godzilla against Mechagodzilla to 450 theaters across the United States, complete with English subtitles and never-before-seen featurette direct from Japan.
That would be fun.
Fans will be greeted with an exclusive message from Kenji Ota, Toho's International's chief Godzilla officer.
Yeah.
Is that like how old's that film?
2 years old.
Oh, really? Okay.
Came out in Japan 2 years ago. Hell House LLC Origins is going to be a new Carmichael Manor prequel,
Oh,
which will
sweet.
be released on 2023 as a Shudder exclusive.
Awesome. I've seen the
have
first
Shudder.
two. I haven't seen the third one yet of the Hell House trilogy.
Isn't there like fucking 5 of them or something?
Oh,
now?
is there?
No,
I
there's
thought
not
there
that
was
many.
3.
Yeah.
I thought there was a bunch, right?
There's
I thought-
3.
I
3's a lot, though.
I mean, it is, but I could have sworn
People
there
just
was
keep
more
going
than
back to that fucking house.
that. Go figure.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a bunch of people that died in this place. Let's go shoot a video.
Well, that's
Then
what we're
yes.
going to find
they
out
become-
then, though, too, right?
Yeah, true. How it all started.
This is the prequel, yeah. So
Yeah.
this will give us the backstory of Hell House
That's
LLC.
cool.
I saw yesterday in the Rolling Stone magazine, I was flipping through some articles in there, and I found something very interesting. Corey Taylor purchased the rights to Famous Monsters magazine,
Oh, cool.
and he will be bringing it back.
Wow.
Nice.
According to the article, the Slipknot frontman bought the rights to beloved Famous Monsters brand with the plans to relaunch the magazine, make toys, and produce horror films and host festivals.
Sweet.
On their website, they did have for a short period of time, if you sign up now, you can pre-order a glow-in-the-dark Famous Monsters t-shirt and hoodie.
Oh, cool.
But they were sold out when I went to click the link
Ah,
last night. I was
damn
so
it.
pissed.
Damn it.
One of my favorite magazines as a kid. I got that one. I got...
Fangoria.
there was a couple... Yeah, Fangoria was one that I had as a kid. My dad gave me that one, Famous Monsters of Hollywood, and there was another one, too. I can't remember. But I saved a couple. I had them, like, from my childhood, from the
Oh,
80s,
wow.
in
Damn.
storage. I have 2 of them from the release of Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back
Awesome.
when they were covered in those magazines, which was pretty awesome.
Yeah, a lot of these metal guys. It's funny because we had that conversation. We were hanging out. Well, we went to that pizza joint, which was metal and horror like combined. And then
Yeah.
when we were at Not Scary Farm, there was like a lot of people with like metal shirts on, and there's a lot of overlap. Between the fan base for horror
No,
and
and
metal.
we talked about how Kirk Hammett has like a massive horror collection, and through this article in Rolling Stone, which I didn't know this shit. Corey Taylor revealed he also has a giant horror collection of toys and posters and original screenplays and shit from movies. That's pretty cool.
And we all know Rob Zombie's probably like his
Dude,
shtick.
Rob Zombie, he's given a couple videos. Excuse me. If you look on YouTube, you'll see he has a couple videos of the tour of his film collection. He collects 35mm films
Oh, sweet.
of classic horror films.
Nice. So a lot of overlap.
Yes, very much so. As Wes Craven once said, a marriage made in hell.
Indeed.
I know we talked about this last year, and it's been a long time in the making, but Hollywood Reporter says that the Spawn movie is still underway. They have found new writers. The writer who co-wrote Joker and co-wrote the new Captain America 4 movie that's coming out next year is going to be joining the writing team to help beef up the script before filming. We already know that Jamie Foxx is attached to star as Spawn. But we don't know much more than that. Now, I've said in the past, who the fuck knows? Because here's the thing about Todd McFarlane. Todd McFarlane is a fantastic artist, but he's a giant fucking asshole. And he overcommits on a bunch of shit, and he really doesn't know what he's doing. He's bragged for a very long time, well, I'm going to do Spawn, I'm going to do it right. Now that special effects are where they need to be for this, I'm going to do it perfectly right. I'm going to do it the way the story was. But here's the thing. I love Spawn, one of my favorite comic books of all time. I have the original printing, the first 15 issues of the comic book, right? First printing. The first 3 issues, the story fucking sucked because Todd McFarlane doesn't know how to write a fucking story. So with him writing the script, I was panicked thinking that it's going to be a shitty movie. Like, he can't write. It wasn't until like the 5th or 6th issue that they got new writers and the story got really good. Again, Todd McFarlane, love the guy's artwork. It's because of him that we have Spider-Man Spaghetti Web. It's because of him that we have Venom. It's because of him, we have the Spider-Man in the comics drawn with the very large eyes. Great artwork. Shitty writer and a giant asshole of a human being.
I thought the animated series that was on HBO was pretty good.
It was okay. And the thing is, that was ripped from the comic book. Like, it was a direct translation of here's the comic book, here's the fucking cartoon. But now he's gonna do something special for a movie. Obviously, you can't. It's very hard to do. Convert those 2 medias.
True,
from a comic book to a movie. It doesn't work well if you try to do a direct translation. And you have good versions of it, which is, look at Sandman as an example of a fantastic translation. And then you have shitty translations. Look at Thor, Love and Thunder as a translation of, what Thor, the mighty Thor was in the comic books. They totally fucked that story, beyond recognition. But I'm going to reserve my anger towards Todd McFarlane and hope that this comes out good now that they got some decent writers on hand to help write this.
Yeah.
All right.
The Crow remake starring Bill Skarsgård has just wrapped filming in Prague.
Oh, sweet.
According to the Prague Reporter online, there's been a 10-week shoot. The Crow shot across numerous locations in the Old Town and the New Town neighborhoods of the Czech capital. One of the major set pieces for The Crow was Prague's Rudolfinum concert hall. Apparently the town involved the participation of hundreds of extras in formal attire during that scene. So
interesting.
So is this just
I'm excited to see.
This is a remake of the original.
I think it's a retelling in a different. It's not going to be exactly the
like
same.
the first Crow's like a dirty dark city, and now this one's like
Had a great soundtrack.
Yeah.
Had a great soundtrack. I love the first Crow movie. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
And
And Bill Skarsgård didn't die.
Right. That's a
Yeah.
good thing.
Yeah, I thought the first one was great. I loved it.
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll see what comes of this. Hopefully it's good. You know how I feel about remakes. You know,
Yep.
hit or miss. Sometimes they're
Yeah.
good, sometimes they're not. I'm hoping that this works out okay.
I always withhold judgment until I watch it, and then I'll decide if it was
Yeah.
worth it or they should have just left it as it was.
Yeah, you know, some films like that will surprise you and just be fantastic, and some films are just garbage.
Yeah.
Yep.
They destroy all your memories of the original. All right, that's it that I have for news. What do you guys got?
I just got a couple movies that I watched since we last got together. Actually, we all watched. Two of us watched all of Dark Glasses together. One of us fell asleep during it. You didn't miss anything.
Yeah,
We
I
watched
know.
Dario Argento's Dark Glasses on Shudder.
The thing is, it doesn't qualify as a horror to me. It may be a thriller, and not even a really good one at that. But
It was kind of artsy, like that's kind of what that's his thing, like the
Yes.
blood was like bright red, although it wasn't as bad as
it
like
wasn't as red as it used to be. It's
Yeah.
more bluish tint to
Yeah.
it now. So,
So
that's
we
good.
we watched that. It was not really a horror. I
No.
just watched Bodies, 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 which is the A24 one that came out last month.
Yeah, I remember
was
seeing
really
the
good.
commercials for that. Was
It's
it
got
awesome?
it was good. It's funny because it's late teens, early 20 somethings, and like the social commentary that it blends nicely. It's actually part of the horror, and it was really good. I
Nice.
enjoyed it. And then
What platform was that on, Chris?
I actually rented it. It's not
Oh.
it's not streaming for free yet. We rented it
Okay.
on just Amazon Prime for like $3.99.
Gotcha.
And then I highly recommend Deadstream on Shudder. That was a great find. I just watched that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, you said that was really good.
Yeah, it's kind of like a found footage one, but I'm not typically a fan, but it was a fun comedy horror. So
Nice.
I would say check that one out too. That's all I got.
All right. I
Yeah,
was telling you guys I watched There's Someone Inside Your House on the way home.
Yeah.
On that was off of Netflix. I downloaded it.
I've seen the trailer of that. I haven't watched
Pretty
it yet.
good, actually. James Wan was involved in that one. Also,
Oh, was he?
believe it or
Nice.
not. I think he produced the movie. It's sort of like a Scream type of movie. It's pretty good. It's like a whodunit kind of thing.
Is that just came out recently, right?
Yep.
Or is that last year?
Yeah, no, I think it's one of the newer releases on Netflix.
Nice.
That was pretty good, and I saw a trailer for Pale Blue Eye with Christian Bale. I didn't realize he was doing movies for Netflix, but it's coming out on Netflix.
Ooh, and that's a horror?
Sort of an H.P. Lovecraft-ish, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
Christian
Nice.
Bale. A Pale Blue Eye, it's called.
Tomorrow night I'm going to see Frankenstein at the LA Opera
Oh, cool.
with a live orchestra. So it'll be
Oh, that'd be
Nice.
awesome. Nice.
1931 Frankenstein with a live orchestra as the soundtrack. Which
That
is
sounds
gonna
like
be
fun.
awesome. Yeah, Frankenstein's great movie.
Is it like an
1931,
event
love it.
or just they're just showing the?
2 nights only? Yep,
Yeah, nice.
Thursday and Friday,
Yeah,
and
what
that's it.
movie was it? You and I think, saw that over at the Banco Ale House over at the Steel.
Yes, that's right. We watched the original Night of the Living Dead with a
Yes.
four-piece string and
Orchestra,
and a keyboard. Yeah,
Yep.
Sweet.
that was pretty cool.
Yep.
All right, now we're gonna do real quick the 5 horror flicks on a streaming service to watch, and I'm gonna do Shudder.
Nice.
And here are my 5 picks. My 5 picks are The Night of the Scarecrow. I don't know about you guys, but that was on HBO
Oh,
when I
yeah.
was a kid, and I must
Yeah,
have watched
yeah,
it a trillion times.
I don't think I've seen it.
Dark
Yeah.
Night of the Scarecrow, right? Yeah.
No, it's Dark Knight of the Scarecrow, and this is where they basically there's a
Special needs kid. and
special needs guy that they think molested a bunch of children, and they
he did.
kill
He
him.
was just really nice. He was a nice
Yeah.
kid, right? And sort of.
Yep. They hang him up in a field. He's got a bag on his head, and they basically crucified him in the middle of a field.
Yep.
And then things go terribly wrong after
Oh,
that.
Yep.
and that's an
But,
80s flick.
Yeah, 1980s. I don't remember what year, but I just remember as a kid, I must have watched it like 20 times on
Oh,
HBO.
God, yeah.
It's one of those things where as a kid, when you had HBO, like,
You watch
That's
whatever's
the
on
thing.
there.
I was poor and couldn't afford HBO. What happened
came out
actually
free.
is my stepdad's sister worked at the cable company, and she got us HBO for free. So we had it free all the time. So
They used to
and
do
I always
those like
watched tons of crap on there.
they used to do those days where they would give it to you for free for like 2 or 3 days too, and we just like
Yeah.
record everything and like hey,
Everything you
we
possibly
can
could.
watch
Yeah.
this now, like you know.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. My second movie is The Gate, another 1980s classic that is
Yes.
streaming on Shudder right now. I don't know how long it's going to be up there.
Stephen Dorff.
Yep. My third movie is Ginger Snaps. I know we've all talked about that one in our
Yes, great movie.
a couple of years ago when we did our top 5 werewolf movies. Ginger Snaps is one of those classic, awesome werewolf movies that's really good.
Yeah.
My fourth movie is The Hills Have Eyes, the 1972 Wes Craven film.
Sweet.
Another fucking amazing film. I can't believe that's on Shudder. That's awesome.
Yep.
And another one that we saw the other night when we were at the Fourth Horseman having our pizza, playing on the TV behind us, Slumber
that's
Party
right.
Massacre. That is on Shudder too. So if you haven't seen it, which I think you didn't because you're like, what movie is that? And I'm like, that's Slumber Party Massacre, the guy with the drill. That is on Shudder streaming right now.
Yeah, if I did see it, it was so long ago that I don't remember it, but I don't think I did.
It's not a fantastic movie by any measure, but it definitely has a lot of TNA and a lot of death with the drill, which I like.
Well, I've definitely got to watch it then.
Yeah. All right.
Nice.
Before we do our review of a film, why don't we talk a little bit our review of Knott's Scary Farm here in Anaheim, California.
Yeah, that was it was a great night. Like it was the weather was awesome. Like yeah, it was hot. I did
It
sweat
was
quite
hot.
a bit.
It was
Yeah, I
90
was sweating my
degrees that
balls
day.
off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we-
made a comment. It's sort of, it doesn't feel like it does back
Yeah,
home. Where it's
true,
like
yeah,
that
'cause
feel in
we're
the
used to
air,
going
it
to the
sort of
one
sets the
locally.
mood.
Yeah.
But they did a really nice job making you feel like it was fall. I mean, like you walked in the park, it felt like fall, right? It felt like
Yeah.
the leaves were changing colors.
And once the sun went down, you couldn't really, other than it being warm out, you couldn't really tell the difference.
Yep.
Yeah, we met some people and hopefully got some new fans while we were there. So
There were a bunch of haunted houses, so there was what 1, 2, 3, 4,
9. There was
5,
9
6,
total. We
7,
went to
8,
7.
9, yeah.
because there was
Yeah.
three of them were new ones, and the last one we did of the night was one of the new ones, and the line was like 90 minutes.
Well, yeah, the
75.
Bloodline 1842 was 90 minutes. Like we couldn't fucking get in line for that one. We weren't gonna
Yeah.
wait.
Yeah, but Grimoire was like
so,
what?
So Chris, we watched a YouTube.
Yeah, Sal sent that to
Yeah,
me then.
I sent it to Chris.
You
Like,
can
that's
tell
that
why it
line
took so
was
long.
Fucking long, yeah.
Yeah, because you had to sit there and wait for your weapon.
Yep.
Yeah, they give you a gun to shoot the
Which
enemy.
is kind of a
with.
neat concept, right? It's different, right?
But
It
it didn't
is.
look like there was a lot of things to shoot. Like it
No.
wasn't that crazy, right?
Well, yeah, and with that many people like in line, like you know, there's I don't know, yeah. But we still waited about 70, 75 minutes for the one we went to.
Yeah, yeah. But we went through like Pumpkin Eater was like less than 10 minutes.
Zero
we were in line.
lines for those first 3 or 4, right? It was like
Yeah,
just
the
Right.
boom, boom.
the
depth-
Waxworks one was I think the first one we went into, and that
That was
was
a cool one.
Yep.
just
and then we went into.
through.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the depth then was the next one. That was
Yeah, but
funny
that one
'cause-
was. It was confusing because at first you're like going into a cave, and then all of a sudden you're underwater, and I'm like, I'm not sure where the
you
cave
went
turned
so
into
far
water.
down. You went so far down into the depths that you went from just plain old cave to being underwater.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was weird because they were like fish people or something. Like I don't know. That was probably one of my least favorite of the night. Like it's just, that one and the next one. And I don't even have the name for that one. It was the space one. Remember you went?
That wasn't terrible.
I forget what
Actually-
that was called. I didn't get the name of that one.
Yeah, but didn't we do? There was another one too, but did we do that one before that? The
Pumpkin
space one
Eater.
was like Dark Entities or something like
Yeah,
that.
Yeah, that
wasn't
was it. Dark
terrible.
Entities. That was it.
I didn't think
Yeah.
that was terrible.
And then
No.
we did Origins, the Curse
That
of
was
Calico.
terrible. That was horrible.
That was terrible. That I think was one of their oldest ones. That's the one they like redo every year, and that one was not good.
Yeah.
The Castle of Chaos I enjoyed. That was the one that was
Yeah.
kind of like almost like the haunted ride in Terrifier.
Oh yeah,
That's the one where
like
there was the
dark ride.
talking. There was that talking skull outside the top of the entrance.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, and
Oh,
like
we
you
did
were
the
actually.
Mesmer.
Oh, Mesmer was probably my favorite.
Mesmer. Yeah.
That was my favorite because they
That
had
was
that
like
voice
circus.
whispering to you as you were walking through the entire thing.
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah,
like the whole
yeah.
time, like you're in a dark area, and it's like, it was trying to hypnotize you the whole time. That was like a circus sideshow type thing.
Yeah, and it had like the fat lady and the bearded lady and
No,
the
it was
spider
the
lady.
regurgitator. No, it was the regurgitator.
Oh, the regurgitator.
Yeah,
that
I
was
took
it, yeah.
a picture of that one because that sign was pretty funny looking at the
Yeah.
Vegetator.
What else?
Yeah, I think that was probably my favorite one. Was Mesmer. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, for sure. The sets were like really good in that one.
And you got in the
Especially
middle, and it
outside.
was almost like the big top. Like as you walked through, you got to that one
Yep.
big thing, and there was like
And they had the
the
bearded whatever outside.
yeah. I enjoyed that one. That was probably my favorite.
My only complaint was, the three new ones. There were 3 that were new that year. Just we got into Grimoire and we stood in line forever,
Yeah.
and then it was like over in 2 minutes, and it wasn't that good.
No,
and then we were afraid that the other 2 were just going to be the same because one of them was 90 some minutes, the other one was 75 minutes, and we were like, you know what? It's getting late. I'm hungry. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, I
And
was
then
hungry.
we experienced the worst situation of all, which is living here in Long Beach. Everything fucking closes at 10 o'clock. So we get home at like 11 and nothing's open. There's nothing to eat except Wingstop.
Yeah, we had some Wingstop,
Oh boy.
which was good.
Yeah.
It was okay. You know,
It wasn't horrible.
I was
but
starved, so
I would have
overall,
liked
I thought,
something better.
I thought the haunt would be. It's definitely worth it. I didn't like getting in. And I guess they're open till 1 o'clock in the morning. So I guess if you're doing the 1 o'clock, you can just show up a little later and
yeah, instead of
The
standing in
thing-
that big ass like crowd of people for like an hour.
Right. But the thing I didn't like is, here's the thing. When we used to do the Dorney Park, which is owned by the same place,
Yep.
right? The Haunt in Dorney Park. You
Yep.
were allowed into the park, and then it would turn over to the Haunt.
yeah.
But you had
and
to have the
stayed-
tickets to come in.
Like you paid for an all day, regardless whether you were staying for the haunt or not. You still
Right.
paid for an all day ticket, and you just if you wanted
Right.
to stay, you stayed. If you wanted to leave, you leave.
Right.
Right.
So then
But
you could go stand in front of the ride you wanted to get on. You could get, they didn't open until it started, but you could stand there
Right.
in line instead of just
Right.
this big mass of people, like
Right.
just hanging out and sweating
then-
on each other. And
Right. The same thing with Disneyland when you do. Now, Disneyland isn't scary by any measure, but they have their Halloween event, which is the Oogie Boogie Bash. You're allowed into the park 3 hours before, with just that event ticket. You can get into the park 3 hours before the event to go on regular rides.
Yeah.
And you don't have to get out and get back in line or anything. Here at Not Scary Farm, they literally close the park, get everybody out, and make everyone wait to get in
yeah,
until 7 o'clock.
that was
I
cool.
also didn't like that opening show that they did. Like maybe 20 people got to see that.
You couldn't
It's
fucking
like-
see anything. And the worst part of that is they make everyone just fucking stand still for like
Yeah.
another what we stood still for
an
another
hour,
45
easy.
minutes.
Hour.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
another hour
Yeah.
just for the sun to go down so they could open up the fucking show. Like, come on,
Yeah.
man. Don't
Yeah.
do that. Don't-
And there wasn't enough signs. Like we got
That's
into
the
that
other
one
thing.
area. We got into that one area. I'm like, I don't even know where the hell we are.
Yeah, we couldn't find half the fucking rides together. And when we were trying to leave, we walked a circle around a section of the park before we realized this is not the way to get the fuck out.
Which is why we
did.
missed our
walked around
food.
the park, the whole park.
Which is why we missed
thinking
our
we were-
food.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But I enjoyed most of the attractions that we went on.
Yeah, the walkway, the haunted walkways, and they did a nice job.
Yeah, and we paid half price, so I don't feel
Yeah.
quite as
Right.
Quite as,
And the alcohol wasn't
yeah. That was
a
priced
nice
horribly
touch.
bad. It wasn't horribly bad.
yeah.
That
they had
blood,
Jello shots.
I got the blood bag alcohol, which was like something with orange juice and vodka in it. It was pretty strong, and it was only $6. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I got like a beer and a Jello shot for like $9, which I thought was pretty freaking good for
Yeah.
a tourist attraction.
Yep.
Yeah, it was pretty good indeed. Yeah. So overall, I'd say if you're in California, Southern California, you're near Knott's Berry Farm, checking out Knott's Scary Farm is worth it.
Yeah.
I would just say, hit the old rides, the old haunts first. Wait until later in the evening to hit those other haunts. Hopefully those lines will die down a little bit. If you're really in a rush to see the new stuff, don't bother with the Grimoire. Don't stand in that line like we did for an hour.
Yeah. I'd say scrap it altogether.
That one was not that good. The one that we missed where you can shoot things, that one, I forget what that was called again, but that one seemed like it might have been worth a 45-minute wait. Maybe not.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, at Dorney Park, which is also owned by Cedar Fair LLP, it's a lot more relaxed. The lines aren't quite as long. I think there might have been one or two rides over the years that when they were brand new, you had to stand outside for 45 minutes or something. But yeah, it's definitely worth it. If you're into scary stuff, it's pretty good.
And we went on a Wednesday night, and it was still pretty busy.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to be that busy.
I would say I enjoyed the not that I'm scared by them, but they did have a lot of like actors like throughout
Wandering
the park.
around.
Like Dorney Park, I think is more centralized to one area, but here they were kind of like every area you went, there was a section that had like
we were out in the middle of nowhere where there was really nothing, and they had some people looking around.
Yeah, that was cool. I liked that.
They had some things called scare zones where those people were wandering around.
Yeah.
And that one had like very dense fog. You could not see fucking in front of you. It was
That's true.
Pretty crazy. All right, awesome. Let's go and move on to our movie review. This
top
review.
Oh yeah, top five.
That's right. Top five. All right. Top 5 ghost or haunting movies. Top 5 ghost or haunting movies. I will start this time around. It's Sal, Chris, Craig. So I will start out. My number 5 is 13 Ghosts.
Oh, the original or the remake?
Nope, the original. The original with my favorite one is the chick that's in the bathtub and she's like slit her wrists and cuts all over. But that film, the original 13 Ghosts, I think still holds up pretty well. It's not super scary, but I think the special effects still look pretty good. The story is still pretty good.
It's a cool concept. Yeah, I liked it. I didn't think the remake was terrible.
I don't think I even watched it.
I didn't like it.
No?
No.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't think I watched it. My number 4 is The Frighteners.
Okay.
Oh, Michael J. Fox.
Yep.
Love that movie. That's a Peter Jackson film and is just awesome. Love it. I think I watch it almost every Halloween.
Yeah, what a great story, right? Totally original. Just
unique, for sure.
Movie.
My number 3 is The Conjuring. Terrified the shit out of me, that fucking haunted house shit.
Yeah.
And you know what? It still does. Like I know the movie. I've seen it a bunch of times, and even still, I get drawn in, and like I'm on the edge of my seat, and it still gets me.
The concept, that clap, the fucking clap game is the thing that gets me every goddamn time.
Especially when the mom goes down in the basement and gets stuck down there, and then she gets back and she's lighting the matches, and then it still gets me. Still gets me.
And that's the thing. Even knowing that jump scare is gonna happen, it still gets me.
For sure.
My number 2, and I'm not sure if you guys have watched this film yet, The Black Phone.
Yes.
Fucking great. I really like that film. I really
Oh yeah,
enjoyed
that's the Ethan Hawke one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that just came. Yeah, that was good.
Very good. I like that one very much.
That was a good concept too.
Oh, absolutely. They're very unique. Like I've never seen a film that covered that type of storyline in that way. That's just fantastic. And my number 1 is Poltergeist.
Yeah,
that gave me fucking nightmares forever as a kid. The remake sucks a bag of ass.
I haven't seen the remake.
The original is chef's kiss. Love it.
Yeah, it was good. The remake, the trailer for it when I saw it, I'm like, I don't know. It doesn't even make me want to watch it. Like it just looks.
It's not good. It's not good. And I have one honorable mention, and this one I really wanted to put on my list, and I was gonna yank out 13 Ghosts and put this one in, but I didn't. Is House, that Japanese film?
Oh, I was thinking the
not
one
the
with
80s one.
Oh,
There's
no.
one,
It's
the
like
Japanese
trippy.
film that's fucking trippy as wild.
I don't think I've seen that one.
It's
I
on,
know that
it's on HBO Max.
I think it might be right now.
Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you
Okay.
can watch
Also,
some of that.
by the way, if you're not aware, Barbarian is now available on HBO Max.
Yes,
that
I
came
just
out
told-
so fast.
I just told my daughter because they were looking to watch something tonight. They wanted to watch a scary movie. I said, "Hey, Barbarian just came out on HBO Max. It's a great movie."
Yep.
Yeah, that came out fast. Well, weren't they? They were doing something. They had a agreement with one of the movie studios, right? That they were pumping out. But they were.
Well, my
releasing it at
understanding
the same
is
time as theaters, though. I thought.
right. My understanding is HBO Max was supposed to put that one out at the same time as it released in a theater, but with their new CEO, they ditched that plan. So
Yeah.
It was a really good movie. I enjoyed it. It was a nice twist on a.
Haven't watched it yet. I'm probably gonna watch it tomorrow night.
Ah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. It's really good.
Awesome. All right, Chris, your turn.
Okay, actually, my list is slightly different. My number 5 is Beetlejuice. I just went with I went with a horror comedy. It's a classic. Like it's a ghost movie. Not scary at all, but it's fun, and it's one of those ones that I watch every.
It had some dark moments, though, right? I mean,
True, yeah. For a family movie, it had some dark moments.
Like when they died, I thought that it was kind of dark.
Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice was just awesome. It was
Fucking
just
amazing
great.
casting for that. Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, and it kind of Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin and
Just amazing casting. Amazing.
yeah, for sure. My number 4 is Candyman, the original one. From when was it 91? Anyway, that movie the first time I saw it was just blew me away.
Dude, still holds up. Still holds up.
Yeah. And I didn't dislike the remake,
It was okay.
but I really liked the original,
The remake tried too hard to put a message into it.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes it works when you put a message in a movie. Sometimes it doesn't. It's got to blend organically. And if you try to push the message too much, it overshadows the fact that you're trying to make a horror movie.
They tried too hard.
They did. Yep, I agree. My number 3 is The Haunting of Hill House.
Great series.
It was a great series. And
I think it has one of the best jump scares ever.
Yeah, for sure.
The car scene, one of the best jump scares ever.
Yeah,
I nearly shit my pants.
That reminds me, I thought about this on my flight home the other night. We've never done top 5 jump scares, so we should add that to our.
That. I'm gonna add that to my list.
I looked through the list. I'm like, we've never done top 5 jump scares, which I thought
was hard to recall all the jump scares, right?
Yeah. Well,
but there's enough for sure. Yeah, there's enough. We can list.
And I mean, there's tons of them. You could find tons of them. Okay, my number 2 is The Shining.
Okay.
Very good.
The ghosts were secondary to the I guess the house itself was the dark entity, but the ghosts played a significant part of the movie, and
there's a lot of ghosts.
Yeah. And my number 1 is The Conjuring, which Sal had on his list. Like I said, even though I've seen it a bunch of times, I still get chills watching it. So then I have 2 honorable mentions: The Frighteners, which Sal also already mentioned, and 1408, which I think we did haunted house movies. I think a long time ago, and 1408 was on my haunted house movie, and I enjoyed the concept of that.
That was a hotel, though, right, or apartment complex?
Right. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
John Cusack going to disprove hauntings.
Yeah. Yep.
And then
Another fantastic Stephen King film.
Yes. So that's my list.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Good. All right. My number 5, I had the Haunting a Hill House.
Nice.
A lot of good ghosts in that one, especially the bent neck lady. That was
and ones that they don't even show, the ones hidden. The ones that you just see.
Yeah, and remember, just run, don't look back. That one was like a mystery, the whole series, right? Until the end, you figured out what it was. But that was you didn't even see it, and you were terrified. That's don't look back, don't look back.
Yeah.
The bowling hat dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The bowler hat guy. That's fucking terrifying.
There's a lot of creepy ghosts.
For sure.
Number 4, I went with Poltergeist.
Nice.
Some
sames.
Yeah, and that could roll over into Doctor Sleep too, I guess, right? Or there wasn't really was there ghosts in Doctor Sleep? I don't remember.
Well, at the end, towards the end, when they went back to the house, there was, because I was going to add Doctor Sleep too, but I was like, I don't know, they don't play. I mean, it's part of the movie.
It's part of The Shining, which is a haunted hotel.
Yeah. Went back at the end, I guess, right? Cause
for the last half hour was him back at the house. So
Yep. Yeah, so Shining. And number 2, I went with Insidious.
Ah,
Nice.
another good one.
You know, I
There
was
was
gonna
some-
put that one on my list too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's some original stuff in that one too, right?
Yeah.
But my favorite ghosts are the family sitting on the couch with just straight faces, and then all of a sudden they turn and they're smiling at him, and that
Yeah.
was the creepiest.
Yeah. Faux
Yeah.
show.
And then you hear the shotgun going off, and
I was
just
even
that feeling.
contemplating Sinister. Is Sinister considered a ghost thing?
Yeah,
I think
so.
When
it's
he's
a
watching
demon, I
those
think, isn't it?
films,
Yeah.
I thought the same thing, but I was like, I think he's more of a demon. Like it's like Bagalul or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Right.
He's more demon possession, but there's ghost children in it, I
Yeah,
think,
but
isn't there?
wasn't there I thought some ghosts of kids, right? Some of
Yeah, the
kids.
ghost children.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, it could. It could.
Yep. And number 1, I went with Frighteners.
Nice.
Awesome.
Just
I
because
made all 3 lists.
Yeah. Just
Frighteners is a good film. It's not super scary. It's more of a lighthearted, semi-comedy
Well,
kind
it
of
gets
horror
dark
film.
towards the end, though, right?
It does,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it's lighthearted throughout, and then it does get quite a bit dark towards the end. But
Especially
it's,
when
it's
you
fun.
get to the point where who the murderers are and how they're doing,
Yeah.
killing
Mhm.
people off. Just fucking great.
Mhm.
Yeah. Very good.
And honorable mentions, I had The Ring.
Oh yeah,
That's a
That
good
was
one.
creepy
the
as
original
hell, that
Japanese one or the remake?
Remake, the one
Ringu.
that took place in Seattle. I like that one.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
liked it too.
I think they did.
I
a nice
actually
job
forgot
with
about
it.
that one when I was doing my list.
Yep. Mama. Which?
Haven't seen that one.
Oh, really?
No.
You gotta
Mama's
check it
good.
out.
Mama's good.
I think that one's on HBO also.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's creepy, Chris. You'll
All right.
enjoy it. And Sixth Sense, obviously. That's
Yeah.
That's another good one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Very good. Very good list, guys. All right. All right. Let us nail down our movie review. So this month's movie review is Terrifier 2.
Oh yeah.
Terrifier
It's funny.
2 has an 89% on Rotten Tomatoes by critics and an 85% for audience.
Sweet. And it's funny because it was only supposed to be out for like that Thursday,
One
possibly
weekend.
Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. And like we discussed earlier, because it did so well, they were like, "Hey, it's that time of year. Let's see if we can get more butts and seats and make more money."
Well, and the best thing about it, haven't seen a single commercial for it. Not a single advertisement. This
Nope.
is all word of mouth. This is all people going, dude, you got to see this film. It's fucking gory as shit.
What would you put on TV? Like, what would you even put? Like, you could do art doing this in the dream sequence, but other than that, like, there's not a whole lot you can really put.
No, really, you could.
Because even the trailer that's for online, which wasn't the Red Band trailer, it was just the regular trailer, it's pretty gross. There's... Yeah.
It is a absolutely over-the-top gore film that absolutely delighted me.
It was made for genre fans,
Yes.
by genre fans.
Yes.
Damien Leone, he
Like I said after I watched it, I said, I think this is Damien Leone's masterpiece. Like, it is a fucking great film. They took art to like a whole new fucking level of creepy, a whole new level of sinister, a whole new level of fucking batshit crazy. Like
Yeah.
the shit he did in this film that they had art do in this film, fucking crazy. Crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, art has definitely taken his place now amongst the legends. Like
And
he-
now-
he-
You know, with the $6.5 million, and who knows what it'll be after this weekend, right? They're playing for a whole nother weekend.
yeah,
that
it's
money-
Halloween weekend.
With that money, he already said, Damien Leone already said, new film for sure, and perhaps
Yeah, he's got a
fourth
third one.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
He's
already
got
got
a-
a third. Like, what's
He's
that
got
guy?
I said he's gonna have to find writers though. I don't like.
No, he needs to find an editor. He needs to find
he
an
needs
editor.
to find a
so
better
he-
editor. Yes, here
Yeah.
and,
Well,
and
yeah,
that,
the movie was too long.
that was my only complaint.
Don't
is
get me
you-
wrong.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I like the movie, but
Yeah.
I have some gripes about
Eh,
it.
and there was definitely some fat in there that could have easily been trimmed. and
There's
it's
like
still not a
15
great
or-
movie.
15
They
to
did
20
tell
minutes
you-
could have been trimmed.
Well,
Yeah.
they did tell you it was the uncut version too. So
Yes.
True.
That's correct.
we knew that going into it that it was uncut. So
Yep.
And for the most part, I loved every blood splatter, every decapitation, every, you know.
Absolutely, but like I said, the movie just went some places, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
There were at least 2 points in the film where it slowed down enough for me to go, all right, I'm getting a little bit like,
but it
what
just
the fuck
some of the
is...
direction too. I'm like, you know, why the fuck is her Halloween costume glowing and shit? It was just, like I said, the writing was a little eh.
Yeah, so if you think about the first one, there was that whole storyline that went nowhere and meant nothing. Was that with the lady with the babies?
Yeah.
Like, she had nothing to do with the movie at all.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
she basically took up time, and that movie was only what, an hour and 20 minutes. So so that 10 minutes was just spare time to throw something in that made no sense. This movie, he did the kind of the same thing with that dream sequence. I'm going to say, which
the cafes.
Yeah, I mean, there was some cool shit that happened, but did it need to be in there? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
there was great shit that happened.
And I thought they were going to do some more backstory on, Art, and they didn't.
Yeah,
they touched on backstory. They touched on.
They sort of led you to, like think that her dad was Art at one point because your dad was psychotic. You know, he had some psychotic problems.
Well, that it was connected to Art in some way. Now, I didn't feel that they.
Yeah, and then they just sort of stopped, and it just the movie kept going, and like, oh, what, you know what I mean? It just it sort of.
Well, and I think that's because Damien said he was trying to begin building a mythology around Art. Yeah. So this was like the early ideas of that. He was focusing in this movie, and this is what I think is he was focusing on satisfying those of us that contributed to his funding.
Exactly, and he did that. He did that for me. Like I went in there wanting Art.
Buckets. Yeah.
I wanted to see Art do some fucked up shit and enjoy doing it, and
it was fantastic.
It was.
And then
I had a hard time deciding which scene I enjoyed the most out of the Art depravity scenes because there were so many good ones.
Yeah. So I'm going to stop right here and just say if you haven't seen the film yet, this is it. Like you need to go see it. It'll be on Screambox streaming after Halloween, so you can watch it there. But we're going to talk spoilers from here on out. So if you haven't watched it and you don't want to be spoiled, don't listen until after you've watched the film.
But go see it.
But definitely go see it.
Yeah.
This is a film worth watching, and that's from all of us. This is a film worth watching.
And what better week to do it than the week of Halloween? You know, just go out this weekend and watch it.
So with that said, there are 2 scenes that I felt could be cut. The conversation with the mom in the kitchen.
Yeah,
it just went on for far too long. It was full of bullshit that didn't matter anything to the storyline of the film, and it just drug on for too long. It actually, that whole scene was like 5 or 10 minutes, and I was like,
dude,
dude,
like he was trying to build character and make you care some more about the children, I guess.
It didn't. But it didn't do that for me. It just wasted a bunch of time.
Yeah,
I just
agree.
thought the mom was a cunt, and even with that discussion, there it was just like, what a cunt. All right, move on. We don't need to know anymore.
I was glad when she died. Like I was happy there she and that was probably one of my favorite scenes was the dinner scene.
Yes. Yes.
She's got that big ass hole in her face from the shotgun, and he's
feeding
mashed potatoes into that hole. Oh my god, I was losing it. I was like, holy shit,
dude! And the way the all the humor with Art was fucking perfect. Like after he killed that girl in her bedroom. And the mom walks in, and he's there, and he's laughing, and he's pointing at her, and he's stabbing her with the knife.
And he's going...
I was like, what the fuck? That was perfect. That was perfect. He's so fucking psycho, man.
And when he took that girl's head and went back downstairs to the trick-or-treaters, and he had her head filled with candy. And he answers the door, and he's all like smiling, and and he's
like, "Oh, great costume," And
the little girl reaches her hand in there. She's like, "Ew, it's all sticky."
And then when that other kid goes to grab more, and he smacks his hand, he goes, "No."
Yeah, just one. Another scene that I liked was when they were in the costume store, and that guy was giving him shit, and he goes to pay for his. What did he end up buying? The horn or the glasses?
It was the horn. It was the horn.
The horn.
And then
he goes through his sack full of shit, and he's
pulling
out
up
his
saws
weapons
and fucking hammers. And knives and screwdrivers and a chain.
And then he starts pulling like pennies and nickels on the counter with them. That's awesome. That's just like so stupid, but it's so funny.
That's the thing about art. Like even in the other film, the absolute silence is fucking terrifying, right?
Yeah.
And then beyond that is the fucking humor. Like he doesn't say a goddamn thing, but he makes facial expressions and fucking gestures that are hilarious, or he does something dumb. Like the other great scene is when he goes into the laundromat. And he's buck naked. Yeah, he's buck naked reading the newspaper, and there's like murders in there, and he's pointing, he's going, he's like laughing. And like that was fucking great. That scene was amazing.
That's where they introduced his. That's where they introduced
the
his
little
sidekick.
girl. Yeah. I was wondering like, what the fuck is going on there.
Just in his imagination, though, right?
Right.
But the kid saw her.
Right, because
the kid saw her.
She plays in. If you look at so the scene where the dad in the drawing book he had some newspaper clippings, and there was one specifically about the little girl that went missing. Yeah, so that little girl is probably that. So I didn't link it very well in the story, which is where I think they're trying to build that backstory, and she's part of it. And from the post-credit scenes, she's going to be in the next films along with Art Reborn.
Well, you knew that. Yeah, you sort of knew.
Yeah. Because she took them away, like they just disappeared then at the end of the movie. Like you're like, although we missed the end credits because after 2 hours and because you had the half hour of trailers that come before the movie, and then you had the 2 hours and 30 minutes of the movie.
It was a long.
Once it was over, Craig and I like popped smoke. We were like, all right, let's get out of here. I didn't realize there was the end credit scenes, so we didn't see those.
Watch it.
Even before you guys said it, I read online that there was a mid-credit and an end-credit scene, so I fucking hung out for the whole thing. It was a long movie, but I was like, you know what? I showed up like the credits, I showed up after the previews. Like I was there. The last preview was wrapping up when I went to sit down.
So it was a survivor from. Do you know what happened, Chris?
No.
So the survivor.
I know Chris Jericho was in one of those scenes because he was supposed to be in the movie, and I was like, where the hell is Chris Jericho?
Yeah, so
he was a guard. Yeah, he was a guard in the nut house, in the like loony bin where the girl who had her face mutilated.
Oh
and
yeah,
then
from the original.
They touch on how like during that interview afterwards she mutilated the other person in the dressing room. So they said, all right, now she's fucking crazy. They locked her up, and Chris Jericho was one of the guards or one of the orderlies in the nut house, and his wife made like a plate of goodies for Halloween night, and there was like an eyeball made of jelly and shit, and he was eating that, and this other girl was there, but that girl was in the nut house, and she was like digging in her groin area with blood and writing on the wall her name plus Art inside like a heart, and she was pregnant.
What?
And then
no way.
she like was giving birth, and popped out was the head of fucking Art the Clown. it was fucking wild. That was the mid-credit scene. Yeah.
Damn, I wish I would have stuck around for that. Son of bitch.
Son of bitch.
But there was so many good like scenes in that movie. Like, I enjoyed Art.
He was great. Yeah. The one thing, though, is I read all these articles. There are people throwing up, people passing out, people getting up and walking out of the theater.
Like, did they not watch the original?
But even with the original, there was some, like, the most graphic scene in the original was the chick upside down when they split her down the middle.
Hacksaw.
That was fucking
with
crazy.
The hacksaw, yeah. That was the worst kill scene I think I've ever seen.
But this one, the kill scenes were so graphic. Like you're
right off the bat, right?
Yeah, like the camera never fucking turned away. Like when he was slaughtering fucking people, it didn't turn away. That girl in that bedroom that he tortured,
and then he was like picking through her stuff, and then he went and got like acid and salt to throw in her wounds, which I thought was
it was very fucked up, and they didn't turn away once the camera was on the whole time. He was cutting into her leg and cutting body parts off, and it was pretty fucking wild. And then even near the end, like there were so many gory parts. But the most troubling thing for me is I'm in the theater, and behind me is a dad and two little fucking kids.
Holy crap!
And I swear one of them had to be like 6 years old, and the other one might have been 12.
Oh my!
But it sounded like the 12-year-old told dad to come. She wanted to see the movie, so her dad brought her, and the 6-year-old, and all I could hear was the little 6-year-old going, "Daddy, can I open my eyes now?" And he's like, "No, keep your eyes covered, keep your eyes covered." And then he's going to the 12-year-old. Why the hell did you want to see this film? This is crazy. Can we leave? And the 12-year-old girl's going, "No, Daddy, I want to finish watching this." And the dad's like, this is not, we shouldn't even really be here. And I'm thinking to myself, no shit, dude. Get your fucking kids out of the theater. Like, who shows a 12-year-old Art the Clown doing this fucking crazy shit?
Oh, man. It's funny because my older brother sent me a text on Sunday. He said, "Hey, my sister-in-law wants to take her son, who's, I think, 11 or 12, to see that new Terrifier movie." He's like, "Did you see it yet?" I said, "Yeah, we saw it." He's like, "Is it gory?" I was like, "Dude, you probably should tell her not to take him to see it." I said, "Unless he's into that kind of stuff,
it's traumatize
over the top,
man." Yeah.
I said, "It's not only gory, but Art takes pleasure. He takes pleasure in the suffering. Like he laughs and plays with the guts and stuff. Like it's."
And all I could think about is like when I was a little kid. No, I wasn't even a little kid. I was like 15 or 14 years old, and I remember staying at my grandmother's house, and my aunt was babysitting me, watching me or whatever, and I spent the night there, and I rented, I went out to the video store, and I got Black Roses, Return of the Living Dead, maybe some other horror movies, and I sat up all night watching those. And my nephew, or my cousin, her son was 8 years old maybe, and maybe 7, probably not even 7, he might have been 6. And the scene in Return of the Living Dead where they jam a screwdriver into that corpse's head and they pick it up and the corpse is talking. He managed to come into the living room while that scene was happening.
Oh man.
And I'm like, "Oh shit," and I turned the TV off. But the next day he took a plastic screwdriver and was trying to jam it into my fucking temple. And my aunt is like, "What the fuck is he doing?" And I go, "There was a scene in a movie I was watching last night. He walked into the room while that scene was going on, and now he's trying to emulate it on my fucking head." All I can think about is little kids seeing this shit and going, "Hey, can I cut your fucking leg off and rub acid and salt into it? What would happen?"
Or cut your head off and serve candy out of it?
Yeah,
for
who the fuck takes their kids to see this film? I was freaked out by the dude behind me. I was distracted a good portion of the film because I hear two little kids going, "Daddy, can I uncover my eyes now?" I'm like, "No, dude, take her out of the fucking room."
That's crazy.
Yeah, nuts. The shit in California is nuts. And the theater, I don't know about you guys, the theater was fucking full. There might have been 10 seats empty at the most.
Our theater was pretty full, but they gave us the smallest theater that there was there, right? And but it was because it was the first night, and it was all dudes with like us, they had their horror shirts on, and the one guy actually had the Daisy sunglasses on that Art wore in the movie. Yeah, nice. I was like, holy crap, that guy's got those sunglasses. It was pretty sweet, but it was full. It was fuller than I expected.
And I will say this too. The quality of acting in this one was better than the last one.
I thought the final girl was great.
Was really good.
She was cute. She was a great actress. She really made me buy into her emotions throughout the movie. Her friend was an asshole though. I didn't like her friend at all.
Dude, I was so happy when she got killed.
That girl was such an asshole.
When she got killed in the bathroom at the funhouse, I was like, yeah.
That was one of those happy deaths.
Yeah. And the fucking boyfriend, dude. Holy shit. He was taking a piss, and he just
I forgot about that.
Oh my god! Damn. And then he was jabbing him in the dick. He was stabbing him while he was laying on the ground screaming.
Art don't give a fuck.
No, that was a fucked up scene, dude.
Yeah.
When that happened, I was like, "Oh no! No!"
Every dude was like, "Oh crap! No!" Yeah, I forgot about that one. Because there were so many good kill scenes. That one I forgot.
Oh, there were so many. I forgot a bunch of them, I'm sure.
The other thing I didn't understand was there towards the end when she fell into that trap that had the water in it and crap. I'm like where did that come? What did that have to do with that? It was cool that the haunted ride was called the Terrifier, and it did really remind me a lot of that one we went through on at Not Scary Farm, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I was like, where the hell did this water tank come from? And
because he pushed her in a dirt pit. And then all of a sudden she's...
It's part of that dream sequence that she had at the beginning. And he
kidnapped the brother to get her there. but why? Like what for? Like, Art typically just indiscriminately kills people, but he took a shining to her, I guess. Like
Well,
for
and
one
that's
reason
the
or
thing
another.
is like Damien Leone did when he wrote the script, he didn't complete. I think
No.
the backstory he was trying to do, because they showed the father drew this costume of the angel with the sword, and there was a drawing of Art the Clown, and then all the newspaper clippings. And I thought for some reason they were going to connect her as like the anti Art, like the
I thought her
opposite of Art
father
that
was
was
Art.
going to.
That's where I thought they were going.
I
I
kind of
thought
thought
her
that for
father was gonna
for a
be-
bit too.
But
I
they
was
were
like, oh,
saying
these
that he
kids,
was dead.
Art's
Did he?
kids.
Yeah. Did he get resurrected as Art, or? And that's where I was like, I don't understand like
Yeah,
what
it
he
got
was.
weird.
He was trying to put something together there that never really connected in the story.
Right.
And then the abandoned
There was a
carnival
couple
that
dead ends. There was a
still
couple dead
a
ends
working
that
carnival.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, well, all the lights were on and everything, and
yeah. And
I mean,
it was
it's cool. I enjoyed that part.
well, and that's the other thing too. It's an abandoned theme park, but yet there were like fresh whole pumpkins there in the little Halloween setup thing. But again, like, not to nitpick, it was a $250,000 movie.
Right. Yeah. And my thought too is like some of the classics that we love, like Halloween and Friday the 13th and Friday the 13th 2, and you're not really going to those movies to watch them for plot and like there's a lot of shitty horror movies that were made that were good because there was good gore and there was
And they
and
likely had bigger budgets than this film and still didn't complete a story
I
kind of like
thought,
this one.
yeah, considering the budget, it was a pretty quality film. Definitely a huge step up from the original.
And that's why I believe now, with the money he's made from this film, when he goes to make Terrifier 3, we may get a Hollywood, C grade horror movie. It may be something much better than what we've seen. It may take Art the Clown to a whole new level of terrifying.
That would be nice. And I think the movie was like 95% practical effects, wasn't it?
Yes, and
Like
that was pretty awesome
I
too.
recognize like one or two like non-practical effects, but for the most part it was, and they were good. I don't know who he's got doing his practical effects, but I thought that was really good work.
Again, I'm excited because I think about the fact that, think about the next level of practical effects with the next movie.
Yeah.
Think about the next level of actors that they'll be able to get in the next movie.
Just don't go to a studio. Don't go to a studio though. Do it yourself.
But you know what? If anything, Blumhouse, A24, maybe one of those, because they'll let him do his independent thing and just be the distribution channel. That'll be great. That would be great.
There you go. That's a good idea.
I'm not sure what deal he made with Screambox, but perhaps once it's done with Screambox, it'll be available, elsewhere. But
I know that you can already like pre-order like the Blu-ray like with the little like metal like container and stuff like that.
I might do that because I really enjoyed this film.
I think you can pre-order those. I think I saw that on Bloody Disgusting, who's pushing this because they're partial owners of Screambox, I think, right? Or sold.
I think they're
owners? I don't know.
They may be. I think they may be owned by Screambox or something like that. Like Screambox.
Yeah, they're associated with it because
Yeah.
they've been pushing this, and they mentioned the Blu-rays being.
But I was looking at what's
pre-order.
playing on Screambox, and it's not
No, I
quite
looked at it.
Shutter.
Yeah.
It's not
No, I
quite
looked at
Shutter.
it.
So
Well, Shutter took a while too, though. So
yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on it. I'm not going to buy it now, but we'll keep an eye on it, see what accumulates over there, and maybe that'll be something to swap out with Shutter. Shutter, Shutter's hit or miss. Like sometimes they got some great stuff on there,
Yeah, the
sometimes they don't.
rotation's not fast enough, I don't think.
Right.
Same shit. I keep looking for new stuff and nothing's coming.
Well, and they kept promising great stuff for Halloween, and I will say that 101 scenes that terrify us or whatever. The
I'm
scary
gonna watch that
scenes,
when we're done here tonight.
fucking fantastic. The last 10 in this last episode I watched today, fucking great. Fucking
Watch
great.
that later.
Yeah. All right, so all in all, we're going to say I'm going to give this a 3.5 star review. Or wait,
Yeah,
we do a 5-star? 4.5 stars out of 5.
Okay, I was bouncing around between 3.5 and 4, and I think I'm gonna go 4. Sorry, go ahead.
Nope.
I got what I wanted. I wanted more of Art doing crazy shit and enjoying it, and I got that.
Plenty of gore.
The length of it was a bit much for me, and they missed a bit with the story connections. But I went to see it to watch Art do his thing, and he did his thing. So I'm going to go give it a 4.
I'm gonna go 3.5, only because, like I said, the writing, just the story was but art was fantastic. So
All right,
I want to push him to be a little bit better with a better story and some direction in his movies. But like I said, Art's an icon at this point.
I'm gonna say if they didn't give Art some of the back end on this film, like he didn't get a point or two from playing in this film, that's a terrible waste, man. Because that guy is great. The actor that plays Art is great.
It's kind of like Robert Englund with Freddy.
Yeah.
Like this guy is Art.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's why 3.5 for me.
All right, so we'll give it a nice round 4 from the American Nightmare podcast.
Nice.
4 stars. So this is one that, like we said, go see it. If you haven't gone to see it, then go see it on Screambox. And if you don't want to see it on Screambox, try and find some other way to see it because it's definitely worth seeing. You're gonna love. If you love slashers, you're gonna love this film. It's very good.
Indeed.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, everyone, for listening to the American Nightmare podcast. As always, I'd like to say thank you to all of our listeners because without you, we're doing this for nobody but ourselves. And we like to have listeners, even though we are kind of doing it just for the fun of doing it, we like to have people listen and give us some feedback. So with that, email us with feedback at feedback@the-american-nightmare.com. You can visit our website and click the feedback link, or you can visit us on Facebook. Look up the American Nightmare Podcast on Facebook and check us out. Please send us an email, feedback in some way or another. Give us some ideas for movies we should review. Give us some ideas for top 5 lists we should create. And if you have any interesting tidbits or news that we haven't talked about that you think we should be mentioning, give us it in that feedback. Again, I'd like to give the credit to the opening music, Thor's Hammer by Ethan Messicel. I don't know how to pronounce this fucking guy's name. I need to figure it out. And also Riverside.fm. We are an affiliate of Riverside.fm. I have the link posted on our Facebook and on our website. We use the Riverside app for our podcast recording because it beats the crappy online other services. This one records audio locally, uploads to their server where I can then download it and edit it at your local computer quality, which makes things a hell of a lot better than ever. Thanks again, everyone, for listening, and we will be back next month.
Woohoo!
All right. Happy Halloween.
Yes, happy Halloween.